As the teams continue their march to playoffs, stay current on all the latest with LOLesports.com. Rewatch games with our VOD hub. Study up on players with in-depth profiles, stats, and much more. LOLesports.com is your home for all things LCS. Now let's jump into our next match with Team Liquid versus CounterLogic Gaming. Last time these teams faced off was in the spring playoff quarterfinals. It's been a while, and CounterLogic Gaming were completely shut out.
Yeah, that did come during CLG's playoff collapse, but this time around, the feelings are much better in the CLG camp. For the first time in the team's history, they ended the week in sole possession of first place in the LCS. That being said, the games have gotten a little bit sloppy. Against TDK, remember, Doublelift from Aframu gave up 4 kills in the laning phase, and it was Pobelter who ended up carrying that game from the mid lane. And their Cloud9 game, Xmithy, he had those accidental oopsie tunnel into the base. It cost him 3 kills. And CLG's usually having big enough leads in these games that the mistakes ultimately don't cost them the match. But those mistakes will be punished by more quality teams and could be punished here by Team Liquid.
There's no doubt about it. And while spirits are high on the red side, it's a different story for Team Liquid. They are coming off a rough 0-2 week with back-to-back games that they absolutely could have won, but lost in the last minutes of the game.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying that Team Liquid could be the best team in North America coming into last week, but they are now 0-3 against top 5 LCS teams, and now they are facing the #1 team who have only dropped a single game. So this will need to be a statement win if Team Liquid want to prove they have the right stuff.
It's going to be very tough, and it's a very big week for CounterLogic Gaming, and their coach has implemented a new strategy to get the team ready. For more on the story, let's send it down to Freak.
Thank you very much, Riv. I am here with the coach. Now, Blurred Lines, first of all, what is this and why is it here?
Well, it's a cinder block, Freak. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. It's actually a team training tool that we're using with the guys this week to kind of prep them for this weekend, which obviously is a big weekend for us.
So you have them like jog with it over their head, or like what exactly is this about?
Yeah, actually, that's how we lost a corner of our brick. Was a fun run that we did as a team. But yeah, it's supposed to be representative of the burden that this week is laying on our team. Obviously, being 0-8 against Team Liquid and Team Solo Mid, and last year is it creates a strain on the guys, and this is supposed to show the physicality of that strain. A nice heavy concrete brick, which is why I'm out of breath in an interview right now.
And then you're symbolically holding it as the team is going to lift your team out of this. It's very wonderful and poetic. So the final question for you then is, how exactly have you guys improved to have lifted this strain? Like what is it this week that's going to make you guys win?
Well, I mean, you see Eugene, right? That man he's buff. He's buff now from carrying this brick. So, yeah, I feel like Eugene's just going to put us on our back this game and carry the team to victory.
All right, Pobelter will physically carry CLG to a 2-0 week. You heard it here from the coach. This is how CLG thinks they're going to win games. An improvement, I'm sure. We'll send it back to you guys at the caster desk.
Thank you very much, Freak. I think we just found out how Doublelift hurt his finger.
I like that more than the spinner, I think. I think it's more of a path towards victory. We'll see, though.
I'll see. Let's see if they can carry the center block over there at this game. Let's check out the starting lineups. On the blue side, it's going to be Team Liquid. That's Quas in the top lane, dominating the jungle. Phoenix in mid, Piglet at AD carry, and Xspecial at support. Coach Peter.
Absolutely. On the red side as well, trying to move to 8-1, it's CounterLogic Gaming. Zion Spartan in the top lane. Xmithy in the jungle. Top KDA for a jungler in the LCS, by the way. Pobelter in the mid lane, Doublelift for an AD carry, and Aframu on support.
I do find it very interesting, the kind of way that their coach approaches things. While it can work for a lot of people and kind of the mind over matter thing, some others you kind of still have to do it for yourself. But it seems to be working out for CounterLogic Gaming in almost all aspects here, being at #1.
Potentially best start to a split they have ever had.
Yeah.
This game marks the midway point in the season for them where they will have played every single team at least once. Yeah. And they definitely want to overcome that 0-8 record they have in the last year against Team Liquid and Team Solo Mid.
Yeah.
They're two nemesises. Nemesi?
Nemesis.
Nemesis?
So.
Someone will tell me.
We'll get it.
Nemesis.
Yeah. Seeing the only team, as we said, that beat them was Team Solo Mid. Man, they got to feel pretty good thinking that they can mirror the back half of the split there with that one being a win. Definitely be sitting at the top of the table. The only one that really pressures them right now are Dignitas and Team Solo Mid. So a win here would be fantastic to spread that. Kog'Maw, Alistar banned out on the side of Team Liquid. CounterLogic Gaming is going to focus Piglet and the top lane.
So Team Liquid is willing to pick Kalista right away in both of their matches they had last week, even though both of those games ended up in defeat. Whereas CLG decided to ban it anyway. Oftentimes when Kalista is banned, you will see a first pick Sivir, especially with this Gragas ban, but it would seem rather telegraphed, so Counterlogic Gaming is either trying to bait out a different pick of some sort or just have something to go against Sivir. This is a little bit fascinating, but they give up Sivir.
Sivir over to
We shall see.
That will be his second one. The only other time they played it was against Team 8. Still had good kill participation in that game, so we'll see if Team Liquid actually gets the fight comp that they want. Dominate pull something like that says, you know they're going in. Yasuo Echo. Let's see what they get here.
Yeah, double jungler bans once again. So a lot of the power picks that we have been seeing right off the board, the only thing I would say is a fully targeted ban would be the Kog'Maw onto Pobelter, because he played AP Kog'Maw in both of CLG's successful victories last week. Leaves the door open for a lot of stuff. All right. TF Eve. Pick comp.
TF.
Right off the bat.
So taking that TF right away. Yeah, blind picking that. Doesn't even worry about what situation that Phoenix is going to bring to the table. Has been going Jace quite a bit. TSM and Dignitas last week in their 0-2. Played Jace in the mid lane.
Yeah, Jace is
and he's actually
honestly quite a good pick. He's been very successful with it. There were some questionable team fights near the end of those Team Liquid games last week. They were in position to win both of them. They're very competitive games. So obviously they ended up on the losing side of both. But they're still hopefully holding that confidence together. Basically what I'm saying is the team comps of Rumble, Sejuani, Jace, and Kalista, which were identical in both of their games last week, aren't necessarily the problem.
Right. A little bit more damage there that they're adding. Echo as Deer here, definitely in and out fights that they're looking to grab. I mean, very tricky and calculated with what they do. A little bit more, for sure, initiation. They're going to be plopping down with an Annie ultimate.
Yeah. That was the one thing that Team Liquid didn't have against Team Dignitas was reliability in their initiation. Now they have Sivir to get them close, Annie to lock them down, and maybe even the synergy between Annie and Echo when they do get into a team fight. Chain the stuns together. Dominate as well was the first Echo to jungle in the NA LCS.
Yes, he was.
But Bard Ashe.
Yeah, Bard Ashe. I like it. Seen Doublelift playing that Ashe quite a few times. The best showing was the first time he played it. It's kind of been something to kind of help the team in the other plays that they've had it. The first game, he was the one starting the arrows off, getting everything situated for the team, getting the immediate fights down. But I guess they have so many options now to do that with Pobelter teleporting in an arrow to hit that guy as well.
CLG is going all in once again on these execution-heavy pick compositions. So many things will have to go right for CLG to pick off fight after fight. Twisted Fate plus Bard, great combo. It makes turret diving really easy. You just Bard ult the turret as TF ults in. 3 gold cards right underneath. Or you prep it with an Ashe arrow to begin with. Like, this isn't a team-fighting team from CLG. It is very much a pick team where they just kill one person after another on different parts of the map.
Quas going to pick up the Scion for the top lane coming to this. Just he wants to be a beefcake this game.
Yeah, clever little counter right there. A team that's just going to have low damage being able to pick up one target. If you put a Scion in there and actually do force team fights, what on CLG can actually plow through that Scion, especially knowing Doublelift's affinity for the Bloodthirster first on Ashe. Running the numbers on that, he's doing only about 75% or so of the damage that an Infinity Edge type Ashe would do at the 2-item power spike. So more healthy, but that's not going to help him kill a Scion.
Well, a lot of Liquid's problems were in the late game fight and choosing the wrong targets. Counterlogic Gaming can kind of prioritize where they really want to be engaged on here with this type of composition. Looks like they're going to be looking to get those flanks in on their own terms. We'll see what Team Liquid can do. They have that Annie drop. They actually have Quas to come in from wherever. A lot of areas to engage in here from Team Liquid. We previously saw a lot of those Sejuani ultimates from Dominate going into the support, going into a target that wasn't a priority for the fight and the reason for the loss in those late game fights. So no Sej for him this game. He goes on something a little bit more damaging and safe in its own right.
If Phoenix can be in the right spot in these team fights, which will be very, very difficult against Twisted Fate Ash, Team Liquid, big-time team fight advantage in this matchup, whereas CLG is looking to play the map a little bit more, out-rotate the opponent, or just basically teleport and use magical journeys all over the map. So I like the differences in these team compositions.
Should be another great game as Peter and Zixlol head off. We'll see if they can carry the weight on the side of CLG, the Cinder Block here.
Yeah, the Cinder Block. Who's going to carry it? It was the coach who was not even on stage, but he's carrying it somewhere.
Yep. Well, brush off those crystal balls. Let us know who you think how this game is going to go. Tweet hashtag TLWin or hashtag CLGWin to @LOL Esports, and we'll get your votes tallied up throughout the game as we start this one off. Going to have some TF play in the mid lane. We're going to go live in just a few seconds here. On to the Rift with Team Liquid versus Counter Logic Gaming. We're going to get some Bard play from the bot. We're going to get some Sion play from the top.
Yes, we will. I'm really looking forward to the early shenanigans in this one. Will we see lane swaps from CLG? Will we see lane swaps from Team Liquid? Or will we see early jungle pressure from Xsmithy's Eve? Those are my main questions.
Welcome to Summer.
Whatever puts Double Lift in his perfect habitat of free farming.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for.
Although.
Oh.
Is he going to throw it? He wants to throw it. Starts with a flask instead of boots. Oftentimes you'll see TF start with boots and multiple health potions. Because it synergizes really well with ganks. He pulls a gold card, his jungler arrives, they get the kill. But knowing he's against a cleanse Phoenix and also the harass that Azir can put down early, the extra potions are the option for Pobelter this time. But it means when he locks a gold card, he won't be able to just walk into range.
Cleanse for Pobelter as well. Making sure he can get in for those ultimates as well as get himself out of ganks in the mid lane.
Afro's Bard.
Afro's Bard statistics coming up.
100% win rate.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Okay. So one thing that's contributed to CLG's success this split has just been...
Besides the Cinder Block.
Besides that Cinder Block. And all the dunking on the basketball hoop. Just has been everyone contributing in their own right. So it's not just to protect the Double Lift team. Pobelter has been able to carry certain games. Zion has been carrying games. They have threats from multiple lanes. One statistic that illuminates this is the kill share, which is basically what percentage of the team's kills does one person get.
Right.
In past splits, so 2013 Spring Split and 2014 Summer Split, Double Lift actually had the two highest kill share marks in NA LCS history, at 44 and 43% of the team's kills in that split. Like a huge number, nearly half of the kills in those splits. But this split, even though I don't think Double Lift is playing poorly by any means, his kill share is down to 31%, which is one of the lowest marks he's had in his entire career. Yet, it's one of CLG's most successful splits ever at 8-1. It's because they are spreading the load. League of Legends is very much a team game. He's not trying to carry on his own, and the rest of the team is also picking up a good chunk of kills, so the gold distribution is spread very evenly. It's just an interesting thing
It's definitely a change dynamic. I always saw North American LCS teams as kind of like North American soccer teams where you have the one striker you pass the ball to up front, that guy scores the goal. You see kind of a European style where everybody's a brute, everybody makes plays. And everybody can really, you got a Huni, you got a Febabin. But CLG is kind of, like you said, rounded out to that, and everybody can be the one to get that ball and strike it into the net this time.
Oh, this is interesting. This is what didn't happen last game. CLG is trying to cut off the 3 people from Team Liquid, but a stun in the turret!
Oh, very close. Xsmithy ignites on. That could take him down. The potion hits. Oh, the flash forward, and he's going to get roared by Quas. Sion with first blood. They're going to try to get that double buff off of him. Quas is loving the fact that he gets that in the lane now. They can just continuously push that back. And CLG, a large error here in the beginning of the matchup.
We talked about Xsmithy kind of having one oopsie each game. It's a whipped Gragas ultimate, taking a Rek'Sai tunnel into the base. This time the oopsie came with his double buffs at level 2, 3 minutes into the game, giving them to Quas. The whole lane swap is predicated around CLG having 4 people and denying the 3 from getting into the turret. The worst case should be that the 3 people get under the turret, you can't dive them, and they get experience. This is almost worse than the worst case because they give up double buffs and they don't deny the experience while committing more resources to the task. So CLG now not only down in kills and gold, but also in experience.
Very rough start. Well, it's definitely going to be a test now. Chronological Gaming not usually down in any of these things this early in the game. We'll see how they start to react. Zion Spartan going to take aggression in the top lane, which will start to push him even more off turrets. Tries to do as much damage as he can in that trade with Xpecial before exiting the fight. Not losing too much CS right now as the wave's pushing back towards him, so he's okay to just kind of hang out.
I do have to credit Team Liquid for that engagement as well, though, because as far as a champion composition that you would want to cut off a 4-man group in the bottom with 3, Sion is a brick. He's one of the most undivable champions in League of Legends, especially in lane swaps. Not to mention Echo is a really good combo with that early on. So as far as choosing whether or not they wanted to cut the wave there, get under their turret, instead of just doing a 4-man trade like we saw in our last matchup, I think it's a good call for Team Liquid to even go for that, and they were rewarded handsomely by Xsmithy's mispositioning.
Team that can definitely make the right calls when they need to quickly. Seems like the planned calls are the one that get them in trouble. Go a little too hard in those late game team fights. See if it pans out that way. The early one so far working out for a 600 gold lead. And basically a level lead most likely. We'll see what happens to the mid lane here. They are 5-5, but we are seeing that Phoenix rather is going to come back to a wave to clear out. Afromu pushing forward some wards. This is something that CLG stopped doing in the middle of the split last year. Getting Afro to roam. It seems like it really contributed to them falling apart, not having all the pressure and knowledge they need of every lane. Here, we got the 2 guys that are pretty much talking the most, moving around together and providing information.
Yeah.
Good wards.
Doing their best.
Yeah, they're going to keep top lane safe here. They know that Zion Spartan can get some love, so they give him just about 40 to 50 wards on that side of the map.
Yeah, making sure he can't get snuck up on for a dive. As long as he can hold his own against the Sivir Annie.
Yeah.
Which can be a little tricky if Xpecial gets enough harass on. Luckily for Zion Spartan, the wave is coming back. Still some defense being blocked up by CLG. Afro and Xsmithy are spending a lot of time not accomplishing much so far.
I was going to say as Xsmithy, though.
Ooh.
You try to go for that, but whoa, dominate. Way too ahead of himself on that one, thinking Phoenix could add the pressure necessary. Parallel convergence pretty much stops them from continuing the engage, and Phoenix is forced to use his ulti there, I guess.
Yeah, they burned the flash of Dominate and the ulti from Phoenix. He was worried that Pobelter was just going to rock right through, get the last gold card on Dominate, and pick up a kill. So CLG punishing Dominate a little bit for his counter jungling attempts.
Better safe than sorry in that case. Phoenix keep himself safe. Flash up still in the mid lane. You see Dominate still trying to put Xsmithy farther behind, trying to steal those wrappers. Wasn't exactly on time with it, but still slowing down Xsmithy ever so slightly. Should have the items after this. Go back, get back into this game. For Xsmithy, for an Eve. Does he have time to farm now, or are the lanes all right? What's he going to be looking to do after going down that early?
Yeah, I think Xsmithy's just in survival mode, a little bit like Move was last game on Eve. Just build one jungle upgrade, get as tanky as you can, basically just a flank bot to try and slow people down is I think Xsmithy's job here. To COD's credit, they've stalled out the game after the early mistake. They made one early mistake early. They say, all right,
good at.
We can't pull off these shenanigans yet. Let's equalize the game a little bit by just stalling.
Yep.
Now it's still just that 500 gold disadvantage. The disadvantage hasn't snowballed, and they may be in a position to still pull off those TF Bard Ashe plays later.
Well, they did everything necessary after that to stop anything from happening to Zion Spartan with a plethora of wards on the top side of the map. So definitely quickly reacting to the situation to make sure it doesn't get any worse. Slowly making sure they can get into any type of aggression range. Oh, they're not going to do anything. Thought that Piglet was trying to play that so we could see Dominate come in, but they just stay to the backside, wait for the lane to be pushed up. Both teams very wary right now with the way the game started.
Yeah, I think Team Liquid's pretty content with getting this to move to a team fight phase. For the most part, they don't want to keep up with CLG's mobility early, and they kind of want to wait for the map to shrink. So they need a few turrets. They need the dragon fights to start happening. They want to just keep it in a confined space so that Phoenix and Piglet can do their work in team fights.
A bit of love from the bottom lane coming in. Xmithy level 5 here as he attempts to walk into the lane. Not seen though. No pink ward pressure. Claw hands on that Cosmic Binding.
So the
Rapid
Lord
Piglet's
will not
ankle.
see Xmithy.
Trying not to pop that Onyx special. Arrow. Oh my word!
Whoa. That's as close as you're going to see without it actually stunning Annie.
Yeah.
It looked like the Ash Arrow was pretty much connected with X Special.
It's Annie. He's on fire. First part of it melted. He flashed away. You're good. Physics. But no, that was a hell of a flash. X special. Completely. I had to be aware of the situation. Also, it was a pretty good distance for the arrow to travel in lane.
Yeah.
For these guys' reaction time. So
I guarantee you someone's going to freeze frame the moment before he flashed. Say, confirmed bug Double's arrow connected with X Special. But the hitbox on that arrow I don't think is at the very tip of the arrow. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I'm not 100% sure on that. Either way.
Will be confirmed.
He flashed. The arrow went through.
So alt down for flash down. Double lift and Afro could still go aggressive here. They did know that Xmithy was on the bottom side of the map. So that was knowledge to Team Liquid for right now. Not too much that they can use. Just farming out the lanes. Very slow to start. To make it another one that we had just like last game, and then it might explode once we start to get these Bard ultimates.
Double's got to be careful.
Everything else. Trying to bait this in.
Woo!
About sending a message. Take it!
Yeah. Gives Piglet the ability to gain ward control for sure.
Yeah. Let's see if we get a gank from Dominate soon. I feel like he's itching. Usually he's not this quiet in the early part of the game. Felt alright getting that attack onto Xmithy. Did find himself in a bit of trouble at Raptor Camp, which might have slowed him down. Thing is going down. 52 to 48. CLG fans still holding strong. First place. They're going to feel good this year.
Yeah. They're going to have to play a little bit from behind this game, though. Looks like Zion's rushing a Frozen Mallet. He's gone back and forth between his favorite first item on Gnar. It's been Black Cleaver the last few times he's played Gnar, but this time it's going to be Frozen Mallet. And, oh dear, that's already a flash down. Chain stunned.
Oh, they're still going on to Xmithy. Bard ult tempered fade onto X special, but that damage was already delivered. It could have hit the other units for a better ultimate, but unfortunate good dodges from Team Liquid. CLG lose another one. Xmithy goes down for a second time, 100% death participation.
Yeah, not the participation stat you want to be a part of, but I really like the chain stunning there from X special and Dominate.
Yeah.
That's kind of the Echo Annie synergy. Being able to stun someone in the W zone.
It's almost like a perfect timing for parallel, especially if you have a little distance on it. Cobalt, they're trying to do AoE clear with the red cards here. As Phoenix gets the better of them, pushing into that turret. So CLG falling behind even a little more. We'll see if the fights are where they can come back. Still have that bit of a pick composition where they can start to skirmish their way back into this game one by one.
And it's a tough life for Xmithy. Having a double buff at level 2 and then dying at the start of the game, that's never going to set you up for success. Pretty much the entirety of the game from that point forward, you are playing from behind. So it's really on Team Liquid to continually punish Xmithy. And for Xmithy to play as safe as possible. He's not going to be able to have a large impact in this game just because of the disaster that happened early on in the game.
Phoenix gets his. That's going to be blue over to Pole Belter as well. Let's see. The late game Xmithy mistakes are not the ones that can happen anymore. So like you said, there's only one. That chance. The rest of the team's definitely going to have to be in that step-up mode 2K gold lead. Actually 1.3 right now as that ticks up to 18,000.
Yeah. And overall, CLG's, with this execution-heavy team composition, they want the Twisted Fate to be able to teleport into situations and create plays, but none of that is really showing right now because of the way Team Liquid drafted their lanes. So Sivir to begin with is pretty difficult for TF to gank because of the spell shield. Add on that to Annie to just try and blow up Pobelter the instant he comes in. Add that to the fact that Azir shoves the lane so quickly, so anytime Pobelter is out of lane, he's sacrificing probably his turret, or he's not going to be ganking a Gnar, or sorry, Sion with a Gnar lane because that's probably not going to die anyway. So as far as Pobelter's actual lanes to gank, they don't really exist, thanks to Team Liquid's early lead with Xmithie being behind, and just the way they drafted their overall lane structure. It makes ganking really difficult and incredibly punishing for Pobelter to even try. Therefore, he's just a turret trying to fight. And he's going to lose turret anyway.
None of the targets he can really get at are ones that will stand still. Phoenix dash away. Everything you were saying makes it so difficult. Pobelter's the guy they say, he's the one we know is going to bring damage to the game. When he came to the team, that's something we were assured of every time a fight started. But not this game. Doublelift looking to get the arrow on. Did not seem like they were on the same page there for a second. Looks like Mega Gnar happened in the top lane and Teleport was ready, but those two are fighting it out actually.
It almost looked like Doublelift was bluffing there and hoping to get summoner spells burned out of Team Liquid because they had no backup coming. But you would expect with the TF Eve comp that they'd be right there.
Good forward ward placed by Aframo to keep the lane safe. Knowledge now of Dominate. That's the legacy of Shurima turret going down in the mid lane.
Not a real turret.
Not a real turret. Semi-real. Team Liquid looking to actually grab good control here over the bottom side of the map. This is going to be Scuttle as well. Dragon may be on their plate. Feels like they could be stronger in this situation, or at least get the area so they can taunt it.
They have the mid turret. They just saw Xmithie doing red buff. They have pressure in the bottom lane. They know the Ashe ult is down.
Yeah, that too.
The only thing they do have to respect is just to Twisted Fate teleport because you're kind of giving the other team position when you go for Dragon.
Well, look at these deep wards. Dominate's placing now all the way back towards Wolves. They'll have vision for days as they enter into the Dragon Pit, but they need
nice job. Nice team coordination.
They need that guy for Dragon.
Yeah, they need that guy for Dragon for sure, but really nice job there by Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because they saw him clear the red buff with the ward, Phoenix just going and making Xmithie's life as difficult as possible.
It's the little things. They add up in your favor.
Whoa, here we go.
Oh boy, I liked it. They're aggro on him immediately, though. He's out of the turret range. Last shot, like you said. Trying to kill a brick wall. Qua stays alive. Oh, special flashes forward for the Tibbers. And he's able to take down Zion Spartan. 3 kills now coming in. That's Team Liquid still diving under the turret. Shurima slides his way in. Turret goes down. They're able to get it. Bardalt almost helping him out there, but he goes down right as the last soldier gives him a poke.
Team Liquid with some huge plays on CLG's first attempt to create action, trying to dive the brick wall and Quas. The collapse comes in afterwards. They punish the dive brilliantly. Now 4 kills to 0, big gold lead, and maybe even some more control. They're already up 2 turrets to 0.
Very interesting game so far for Team Liquid to be on point so much with their ganks, with the way things are going. That one kind of trickled into their hands nicely. It's going to make it harder for Counter Logic Gaming to get themselves back in. The Dragon will be able to happen as they are 3K down now. They're going to have to go back down and get this turret cleaned up, though. Getting pushed in by Piglet. We'll see this fight one more time in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily great teleport timing by Pobelter. Quas did a great job dodging around. Also charging his ultimate right into Zion Spartan was smart. Zion then was incredibly low by the time this happened. Getting the double Tibbers, and now there's no cleanse for whatever Phoenix throws at you. Plus the turret is super low. I like how he just
heads in.
Yeah,
the rise soldier.
Pressed a soldier on the turret to finish it off, and a Bardalt could not come in to save him.
Just on the edge. Tempered fate indeed. 4-0 now. Team Liquid starting to clean up this map, but they are still losing their turrets around, so allow CLG to continue putting these wards in. They put a lot of focus towards the top side of the map. A lot of those wards early with Xmithie and Aframo to keep Zion safe, and it didn't seem to pay off for them. The kills went down to the bottom side.
Yeah. And you could also see in that last graphic, neither team putting a huge priority on early Dragon. Of all the teams in the LCS, CLG actually has the 3rd fewest Dragons amongst all 10 teams. So overall, they just are winning most games by turret pushing and getting kills. This game, though, they are behind on all those things and instead kind of default back to the Dragon. Still pretty far behind, though. That first Dragon doesn't give you much at this point in the game.
Oh, stop it, tickles. That's what he's saying right now. I'm quads.
Sion's not tickling. Sion's hitting hard. So this is that classic Bloodthirster Ashe trying to finish off a Sion.
Oh, teleport, or rather, Flash is not up. There's no distortion boots yet for X-Special, but he was flying in there like he was about to throw down Tibbers once again. Looks like they know Dominate is starting to rotate his way down with the sweeper towards the brush, and CLG start to add a little bit of defense here to their zone. Pressure towards the mid lane. Phoenix just got stopped on his back, but teams are just kind of looking for a fight. The error or a mistake for CLG to make here. Team Liquid feels like they're going to make it pretty often. They're wandering about one by one.
Team Liquid has chosen to play this game in a reactionary style, which is probably ideal against a team that has so many options of trying to create plays. They're just keeping pressure on the lanes so that anytime CLG wants to make a decision, it can be punished somewhere else or collapsed on a little bit later. Therefore, Team Liquid is they're playing this really well 20 minutes in to have this 3,000 gold lead.
Also very, very difficult to initiate knowing all those TPs can come in. Maybe once they find an engagement out of Pobelter will be the one they want. So far, staying safe, though, in that regards. Quas getting bounced around, but he has not cared since the first blood that he got over onto Xmithy. Double buff since the beginning of the game for him. And Quas, without playing Sion yet, this split, is doing a great job for the team so far.
Yeah. Sion as well, trying to keep as much pressure on the lane as possible. With the Frozen Mallet, you can see he does have a bit of an advantage on Quas. It's just, it is so damn hard to actually kill a Sion, especially the full tank variety that Quas has done.
And when you kill him, he still keeps going.
He'll just come right back.
He'll just come right back.
What you gonna do?
Step on that relic. Step on it.
Success.
Got him. All right, turret's going down. Team Liquid starting to put their foot down as well. They should be able to clear out quite a bit of these wards on their way out. If they see them, they are invisible. Good push by CLG. Top lane pressure right now. They're going to be calling Quas over from this, so he's now going to have to actually be held accountable for that top lane. If they can get Team Liquid to kind of keep moving out of position here, they might get the fights they want in the rotation.
That's the hope. Unfortunately,
it is a hope.
Unfortunately, Zion Spartan has not even hit Quas's turret yet. His second tier. Full health.
Just looked close.
It looked like he was going to get a lot of damage. Oh, maybe he hit it once.
He was breathing on it.
Could have been a minion.
Yeah. Pesky minions.
Yeah, and the mid lane turret still has a decent amount of health. The return turret from CLG is good, and an open map like this is what favors the Twisted Fate, having the outer turrets down. But because CLG doesn't have the pressure, Team Liquid with their double sight stone and upgraded trinkets can place more wards across the map, which is really good to limit Pobelter's roaming abilities, because you want to be able to see where the TF takes off from so you know where his range of global is.
Double lift. Doing what he does best. He's been waiting for this point of the game the whole time. He has just under 2,000 gold to go back with here. About a 20 CS lead on the game. Xmithy, devour stalkers for him into that sight stone. He still wants to be doing damage for the team so they can delete people. Pobelter's chance of making plays just went up as well with his item combination.
Zoni's exactly the item he needs. No defensive items on Phoenix yet.
Right.
No Zonius, no QSS. He does have the cleanse, but Gold Card will truck Phoenix down pretty hard. It's just they don't necessarily have that second diver. A lot of times, like last week, we saw Team Dignitas do Twisted Fate Hecarim as a combo. When those two dive together, it's almost an instant kill on whoever they want. Xmithy with being far behind. Gnar has a hard route to get there. Pobelter will be able to teleport in, land a Gold Card in Zonia's, but it's not going to be a kill. So he's actually really not there quite yet to the power point he wants to be.
Right. He's got to hit that priority target, or the damage he does isn't really going to change Team Liquid's mind about what's going on. It will be tough, especially if that guy in the front is Quas. Sion and him duking it out in big mode. We see that Phoenix has actually picked himself up a Elixir of Sorcery, trying to put out enough damage to cancel somebody out in this fight, take it by surprise.
Yeah. Phoenix in a big power spike right now. He's got a 2-level advantage over Pobelter. So that control they have in the mid and bottom lane is just stopping CLG from even setting foot in their own jungle. Therefore, the Dragon goes over pretty much for free.
Oh, eye for an eye on this one. Blue for blue. Nothing really lost in that situation, but this turret is in favor of Team Liquid. Tempered Fate comes out. That's all the teleports. Don't fight unless you're fighting where the TF is, and Team Liquid might want to change their mind. Zion Spartan very close to the rage bar. He is now in Meganar form, but does not have his gap closer. Quas is actually going to dive back in, right to the turret. Double lift with the sidestep, okie doke, and now Quas is in a real bad spot. He's going to go down. And that's going to be a kill coming in for Counter Logic Gaming. Team Liquid goes a little too deep for their own good.
Yeah, brilliant use of the Bard ultimate on an ally. So rarely do we get to see a nice save that hits an ally, but it stops him in the turret. It gives CLG time to catch up on the rotation. Everyone collapses in, plus the Twisted Fate. And if Zion had that leap go off a minion and double, he could have Meganard everyone into the wall. But even though he didn't, every flash on people that escaped was burned, and they want Phoenix in this turret.
Oh boy.
He's pretty strong though. What's he gonna do?
Oh, he got two! He's gonna get a triple kill! A quadra kill! An amazing play by Phoenix on Azir! The legacy of Shurima is real!
I say we let that one breathe for a little while. What a tremendous play by Phoenix, juking and outplaying 4 members of CLG. Yeah, they were a little low, but that's a 1v4 quadra kill from Phoenix.
That is deafening for a team, I'd have to expect.
Now they get Baron.
Complete silence. Or some whoopsies coming from the CLG comp.
That's a big whoopsie.
A play from Phoenix on that. Sets up the legacy of Shurima, a turret that does not stand as long as most normal turrets. And a triple Emperor's Divide.
He was in such a big power spike too. He had the Elixir, a Deathcap Admiral, and Omicron before this one.
Gladiator status.
Right. So they know he has his ult. CLG is low. They tried flank from 2 sides. Double with next Smithy takes so much damage. They don't land the Bard CC. Triple Emperor's Divide into a soldier double. And I don't even know what happened to the last guy. Bard died off on the side as well for the 4th kill. Good Lord, Phoenix. You are a monster.
That was a 6-0-0 now. What an amazing play. LCS big plays for sure.
Aphromu died to the Shurima turret.
Yep,
by the way.
Yeah. Now.
Just too much. Even with all that, it's a 3,500 gold differential, but Team Liquid has Baron, and also they have Phoenix on their team, which matters a lot.
So to boot with that turret, he did go down, Aphromu, but he also flashed in the last shot, taking 3 shots, and still died. So flash down out of that situation. A lot of chaos right now for Counter Logic Gaming as Team Liquid has the ability to put their foot down wherever they want. They had a bit of free roam time, decided to take that towards mid. Baron still ticking away as we are 27 minutes in. Play that completely changed the tide of the way this game was going. Counter Logic Gaming has been behind from the beginning, and it seems like Team Liquid has found that crutch. So you have to hit CLG early and not give them a chance to come back.
Yeah, Phoenix is at a point now where he can basically 2-shot pretty much everyone on the team. Evelyn's not the champion that can rush the Locket of the Iron Solari, especially if Smithy's going the Sightstone build.
Yeah, right.
So there's very little magic resist on CLG. Aphromu did just finish an Aegis, which will help a little bit.
It's on him now.
But, I mean, no one on CLG is above level 14. Phoenix is level 17 with 6 kills and 700 ability power. They want to lock him down, and they aren't doing it very well. So Phoenix, a little bit too hard to handle right now. Team Liquid should be going to the side lanes and getting a 6 turret to 2 advantage because they have the ability to do so right now.
And there's going to be no one for CLG top lane right now. They're going to be forced to run this out. 2nd tier turret goes down. I was thinking Counter Logic Gaming was starting to get control before that. The outer turrets would give them a surge in gold, and the game would kind of flatten out. What a way that turned out from just one play. And now Team Liquid is on the inhibitor turret. Sub 30 minutes in this game. A parallel convergence to keep everyone off the turret. And it looks like they're going to have what they need with this bear pressure right into the base. The inhibitor turret's still up. Not getting enough focus. It finally goes down, and CLG is forced to go back onto the fountain. Home guards aren't finished up on the majority of their members yet. This could be an inhibitor going down already. Team Liquid not stopping. A focus here on the Pobelter. That's the Zanya's. Bard is down. No Tempered Fate to follow. That's the Azir damage. He Shurima slides in, gets the shield on the shift, and Phoenix is still alive. That is completely keeping Team Liquid in this game right now. The little things falling in their favor are absolutely crushing CounterLogic Gaming.
A massive burst of damage, but it's not enough to take down Phoenix. Because of that, CLG ends up losing their inhibitor. They are inches away from winning so many of these fights, but time and time again, it is Team Liquid and Phoenix coming out on top at the end of these chaotic battles.
CLG on the move. Wards out, gotta clear something, push waves. Do some repairing of what has been happening. It's going to be very tough. We'll see this again. This is already after Team Liquid said this is our base.
Yeah, so basically Pobelter chunks 3 people with red card, wild card, but Zion doesn't quite get Phoenix in the Gnarled, and then a soldier auto takes Pobelter pretty much
like
out of the
2
fight.
health? That was a dangerous
Smithy
game.
tried to flash over, but then Phoenix used his E right into him to proc the shield as well.
Shifting sands and that shield. A little helpful, especially since you bump your target.
And since Phoenix is so over-leveled in this game, it's shielding for over 200 with 4 points in it. And the siege continues.
Oh boy. Just a few attacks from 2 soldiers brings the Alpha move down to 50% HP. And Team Liquid's now able to set up base right outside the front doorstep of CounterLogic Gaming. A very underappreciated use of the Azir turret here when you're able to siege. These guys are appreciating it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no way! The flight's just missing Phoenix on the end of the arrow as well. All of these things for CounterLogic Gaming missing by millimeters. Just as well earlier, the Afromu ult from Bard into the arrow again we saw. CounterLogic Gaming can't get it to stick.
Yeah, and Phoenix just needs a few clicks on the turret to take it down as well. But without Baron, it is a little bit more difficult to siege. Team Liquid looking to poke and go, definitely.
Not as confident. That flash isn't up for special to get Tibbers in there. Yeah, this is good though, seeing Team Liquid not try to do the same thing they did last fight just because it worked. They know that they're down a few summoners, things are different, and the later the game goes, the mistakes could be even worse. So they back off. Dragon's going to be there as uncontested. Smart move as they just continuously pressure CounterLogic Gaming. It's the first time we've really seen CLG not have a definitive answer to come back into something. Now, Phoenix made a gigantic play, but even before that, CLG was struggling to find the 2,000 gold they were behind.
Yeah, and that's ballooned into the 7,000 or 8,000.
Yeah.
And this was the question coming into this game. Team Liquid, they had some really tough defeats last week. Had yet to beat a top-tier team in the LCS. CLG had some questionable victories. They had very close games against TDK and Cloud9, 2 teams in the bottom 3 of the standings. So while the records were showing 7-1 and 5-3 coming into this one, we were really wondering if this was going to be a statement game for Team Liquid. Definitely a huge opportunity to be that statement game, as long as they can take their leads and turn the winnable games into wins. Team Liquid's still in the process of doing so.
Yeah.
But these fights have been close, even though the kill score is 11-3 right now. They have to close this one out.
Got to remember the games against TSM that they lost were in the late game due to misguided, not misguided, but misprioritized ultimates on the wrong target. Remember, Dominate was hitting Alistar with Sejuani ultimates, and Lustboy was out instantly. This time, there's a lot more damage to that AoE ultimate that stuns, and it's special. And so far, they have been on point. CounterLogic Gaming, no chance to turn and fight within these. One try cost Pobelter his life, and pretty much the rest of the team. They may have to try again here.
They have tons of vision around this area. They killed the Crab. They have ward coverage. They have Hawkshot. They have Twisted Fate ultimate. Very easy to see Team Liquid here, but very hard to actually engage them in a fight. I don't think CLG would want to fight unless Team Liquid is in the midst of Baron or had already burned some important cooldowns. They're hoping for either an Ashe Arrow on a priority target or a Bard ult on a big group. Whereas Team Liquid can just flash Annie to start a fight with Talisman as well as the flash and go for something big. It's all about how much damage Team Liquid takes from this Baron, how low it gets, and how committed CLG can get.
Okay.
Onto a tank.
Not bad. Quas Phoenix gets hit up very hard. If Pobelter can come out of this with a card, he gets the kill, but he does not. Phoenix hits the Zanyas just at the time the wild cards fly back at him from the no-look chuck on Pobelter. McSmithy gets himself out. He's able to get to safety right now, and Doublelift is trying to kite everybody back. A nice Cosmic Binding will put Dominate and Quas in a bad spot. Absolutely crushed. Especially goes down in the wrong side of the fight. Smithy could get hit up. He flashes away. Quas just a sliver from going down himself, and Doublelift's able to find that kill. It could be bad. Dominates into the fight. He's getting echo kills, but Doublelift's also turning it around. Here comes Phoenix now, able to find his way back into the fight after going around everything on the map. It's a double and a triple. A full house dominates over Phoenix. That's the ace.
Phoenix has picked up pretty much all his kills this game while under 400 health, it feels like. He is always a sliver away from dying, and that fight showed he needs a Banshee's Veil yesterday. He nearly gets one-shot here by a Twisted Fate who doesn't even have a Void Staff. If an arrow lands, he's instantly dead. Pobelter's going in with the red card because he knows Phoenix can cleanse the stun anyway, so he wants the AoE damage. That's an intentional thing he's doing. And like that nearly killed Phoenix, even though Pobelter's way farther behind. If anything for CLG could have finished off Phoenix in this fight, CLG would have had the ace. So this was, in my opinion, almost CLG's last opportunity to win. Nice ultimate there from the Gnar. They tried to chain down Doublelift, they couldn't quite get him. Phoenix goes super aggressive, and look at how low he is this entire time, managing his health so closely. Giant battle at the end, but again, it's a Zir with just huge damage in the fights down the stretch. No one getting close enough to finish him off. Gets the ace. Thanks to the nice move at the end there. And now with the Spectre's Cal, that's why I think it's the last chance, because no longer will Pobelter have that one-shot potential, especially when the Banshee's Veil is completed. CLG looking in trouble. Baron gets started again.
Imagine the difference in these fights had Phoenix twice taken about 80 more damage. It would have changed completely. We'll see once again here, Team Liquid ready to fight. Smithy goes down immediately, doesn't even get a chance to breathe in this one. Just Agony's Embrace, and then he's in the ground. 2 kills now coming up. Counter Logic Gaming is in retreat, and the magical journey gets taken by everyone. Tibber's sad on the other side, unfortunately, and a double kill coming in for Phoenix. That is Zion Spartan all the way on the side of Team Liquid. Their side of the map. Teleporting back to his base. Team Liquid now inside CLG's base, taking the inhibitors down, going for the Nexus.
Yep, Baron up, everyone up for Team Liquid. This will be the game. Team Liquid will take down the #1 team in North America.
Gonna move themselves up in the standings very nicely. That will be 6-3 for Team Liquid as they have the eyes on the Nexus turrets from the get-go. The game was in their hands, and Team Liquid in 36 minutes take down Counter Logic Gaming.
It's gotta be a satisfying win for Team Liquid after going 0-2 last week. They needed to pick up a win against a top 5 North American team. They just picked up a win against the #1 North American team in the standings. They close out their first round robin of the season at 6-3. So they would have liked it to be a little bit better, but that win has got to feel good, specifically from Phoenix's point of view. 11-0-5 on a Zir.
Absolutely. Oddly enough, things we mentioned in the beginning, small mistakes from certain players, mistakes were made in the beginning. For Quas to get double buff and start off his lane really gave assurance to Team Liquid that they could just kind of hang back and get everything they wanted slowly. And then, out of nowhere, Super Saiyan Phoenix gets a quadra kill solo under his own Shurima turret. Absolutely amazing play. It's very hard to come back mentally and mechanically after that happens to your team.
Yeah, still some really close team fights in that game. You can see Doublelift knows how close they were to killing Phoenix so many times. Also, the early dive at the very start was something CLG could never quite recover from, specifically xSmithy. 0-6-3, his worst game of the year by a long shot.
Yeah, not what worked out for them. The whole team was kind of put down this game. Looking at the damage chart in the end, 27,000 damage from Phoenix alone. The next closest was going to be Pobelter at 16,000, 11,000 damage back And even in this game, it shows you Doublelift couldn't get in the right positions. Zion Spartan had more damage than Doublelift did in this game by about 300-400 or a few hundred damage. So CLG couldn't get themselves in the right spots with the lead that Team Liquid had, and Team Liquid made sure of it.
Yep, just a great way for Team Liquid to bounce back. I liked the draft, I liked the Azir, I liked the way they were trying to neutralize Pobelter. Phoenix took a very aggressive path with his build. Honestly, I think he should have built the Spectre's Cowl earlier in the game, but he wasn't completely punished for it. He was going for the big play because he got the quadra kill.
It seems to be the day of damage for people. Glass cannons, damage, whatever leads to damage. Even if you have to recipe that last item slot in there with the ability comb of your item. It just seems to be damage all day. It's provided for some great games here, and that one definitely, I think, took a lot of people by surprise, especially at the speed that Team Liquid did that.
Yeah, 36 minutes. They were playing a very nice reactive style to what CLG was doing as well. Yes, they made a few plays of their own, but they were basically making CLG make the move and then countering it with superior team fighting. So just nice play, clean play overall by Team Liquid, and a deserved victory.
A very deserved victory. And for more on Team Liquid's commanding win, let's send it down to Freak, who's on the side stage.
Hey, thank you very much, Riv. I'm here with Quas after a really good win, Team Liquid. You guys took down Counterlogic Gaming. So two things. One, you beat the #1 team in the North American LCS. And two, this is your first win over a top 5 team this split. Were there any extra nerves coming into this game, seeing that you guys weren't being top team and CLG was so hot?
Yeah, definitely after our last week's performance, when we were 0-2, we're really considering like we're going to have hard matches. But we just apparently can't lose to CLG. So it worked out. Phoenix did like a lot of work. So.
Yeah. How do you feel about the glorious word of Shurima? Are you a believer?
I'm a believer. Yeah. After a quadra kill, I'm definitely.
All right. So Team Liquid official religion is of Shurima, confirmed right here. So tell me about the Cyan pickup. We haven't seen him in a little while. Why'd you bring him out this game?
So actually, I haven't practiced him at all this week in scrims, but it just looked really good against what they had. Like they had a TF and Ashe, a lot of crowd control, and no mobility on their carries. So I thought it was a good pickup, and I played in playoffs like last split, so I was confident in it. I knew how to play him, so I wasn't worried about it. My team was kind of worried about the pick because we didn't practice it at all, but it worked out. So
that's the dynamic. You have the coach in the background, you have your teammates as well, but it comes to like your third pick, and you're like, just trust me, guys, Cyan's right. And is every player empowered to make that kind of choice and say, this is the right champion, let me pick this?
Yeah, if someone's very adamant about something, then they usually let him pick, and it works out for the best.
It worked out really well for you. So, Quas, congratulations on the win. You guys around the second place mark here. How long till you guys hit #1? How long till you guys get that bye in the playoffs and you go win the summer split?
Well, I think we're getting better and better, so I can expect like in a couple of weeks we'll be on top again.
All right, couple weeks to #1. Quas, congratulations. Thanks for the good interview. Congrats on the win, and we're going to send it over to you guys at the desk to talk about that game some more.
Thank you, Freak. Absolutely a fantastic win there for Team Liquid, but I do want to start with CLG because they did not look in sync this entire game.
Yeah, I think it does go back to the opening of the day when I was talking about how CLG, yes, they're at the top of the standings, but a lot of the wins that they're getting, they still have these blooper plays that pop up, and they you get a little nervous for the team. In this game, they started the game out with one of those plays and then it kept plaguing them throughout the entire game.
Yeah, and this is honestly one of the worst compositions to actually be out of sync with because everybody needs to show up for these picks. It's a pick composition. You can't be going out there having one person get picked off yourself because then it just doesn't operate.
Yeah, there was that one time when we have the Bard ultimate, Tempered Fate goes down, and then like a second after or even right after the arrow flies over. So even if the Bard ultimate had hit, then it would have gone through as well. Yeah. So,
yeah, just some interesting out of sync moments for CLG. Next up, though, on the docket, Phoenix Azir.
Go. Give that man a raise.
Go. Exactly. Right?
Scream Phoenix is here.
Oh, that was insane.
That was ridiculous. All game long, and then after he gets all the money from the quadra kill, and he's the most important person on the team, he survives on 200 HP for consecutive team fights. Just really well played by Phoenix.
Yeah, he got the second kill in the game off of Xmithie in the jungle. So he was showing up to the fights. He was in sync with his jungler, Dominate. So after that, he just kept pushing lane. They got the advantage. He got the turret by himself, and he got a CS advantage over Pobelter. Then he was able to pull off all this crazy stuff when CLG was being really aggressive. So Phoenix, Scrim Phoenix, I'm pretty sure he's here right now.
Let's take a look at that crazy stuff. Yep. If you missed the game, we are going to pull up a replay of...
If you missed the game, watch it over again.
Yeah, watch the whole game over again, but we've got the replay of this quadra kill in the bot lane.
All right, so this takes a while. Let's roll the clip here. we'll get started. And yeah, so this is the beginning of it, where Team Liquid go for a dive. And this is actually one of the points in the game where Team Liquid make a decent amount of mistakes going for this dive. And it's Phoenix is going to have to pull them out of it.
Yeah, CLG actually capitalizes on the mistakes fairly well. You see Zion, he wants to dive in. His Narbar just wasn't there when his flash went up. And then they just part the Red Sea, and he goes straight by.
Yeah, sometimes that Zion ultimate is going to cost you a kill and a lot of control. But this is where, you know, Phoenix turns it all around. They're going to overchase him under the turret and not respect the fact that he has all his cooldowns available.
Yeah, they already got 2 kills here, and they're still going for more, and they really want Phoenix. He's below half HP. Double Lift is full HP, but he gets poked down a little bit right before.
Yeah, unnecessary hit.
Here we go. This is where they're making the decision. They've decided they can actually make this dive work.
Yeah, they're waiting for Smithy to get here so they have 4 people, but 2 turret shots for him there, and then Afro, the aggro changes over to him. Even though Phoenix sort of misses his dash, doesn't go through anyone, that ultimate changes the entire. After a demoralizing dive like that, after you just had your comeback play.
Yeah, the positioning that he achieved in order to get the ultimate, shove 2 under the turret and deal damage, also then preventing the Gnar from hopping over the wall to get onto him. He essentially took, like, his health bar didn't really move in that fight. He started at about 30% and ended at 30%, picking up a quadra kill. A crazy amount of gold. As you mentioned, CLG just not able to find him in fights after that, you know, and zero him out. We saw Pobelter try a few times, didn't work. What I want to move on to, though, now is implications. Implications of this game, what this means for both of these teams moving forward. Starting with CLG, we had the interview with the coach, the cinder block, the weight of trying to beat teams that they haven't been able to beat yet. Well, day one, you come into the weekend, you don't beat Team Liquid. How are you going to beat TSM the next day and come back mentally from this shutout?
And they already lost to TSM once this split. Every time that CLG ends up in a high-pressure game, whether it's playoffs or it's against a really top team for the #1 spot, they always seem to throw a wrench in their own draft, where they're like, let's pick Lee Sin jungle. Let's go ahead and pick a pick composition instead of going back to what was working for them and actually picking things that are more or less meta. Right? They're trying something out of the box where, like, we need an edge in this game, and the edge is something that's not our typical style. So that's always really surprising. I feel like they just need to go back to what was winning them games.
Yep, well, with CLG's loss, Team Solo Mid are poised to retake a share of first place, and we'll see if they can get it done in our next match when they take on Team 8. So stay with us.
Guys, don't hold back. Be aggressive when you need to be, okay?
Okay.
Relax and we've got this game. Easy.
All right. That's Team Liquid still diving under the turret. He Shurima slides his way in. Turret goes down. Oh, boy.
He's pretty strong, though. What's he going to do?
Oh my God, Phoenix! Holy shit!
What just happened?
Bard is down. No Tempered Fate to follow. That's the sincere damage. He Shurima slides in. Gets the shield on the shift.
I'm back in 1 hit. I'm 1 hit.
I can kill them all. Piglet. Nice. That's here.
Oh boy.
Well, Ash is stunned.
Okay, nice.
Good. I'm going for TF. I'm on TF.
Yep.
He's slowed again.
And Team Liquid in 36 minutes take down Counter Logic Gaming.